Part 15 of Elyse Myers's book. That's a great question. I'd love to tell you. My name is Jenna LaMere. I am reading the book. I'm reading the book, though, with my immediate reactions. I'm reading it terribly, really. So I'm not a professional reader. Please buy the book yourself or go to Audible or whatever and have the author herself read the book as it's intended. This particular thing that you're seeing here is if you want a buddy to just kind of explore the book with, cool. And you can follow if you like to hear my commentary, but otherwise just know that I'm mainly just doing this for myself so that I can hear through somebody else what it's like for the book, because that's how I understand things best. So thank you for being here, and I'm just going to get right into it now. House clothes is the next part. Oh, the other one just downloaded, so let me move this out of the way. Down there. All right, here we go. House clothes. I knew it was coming. We both saw it coming for weeks, and still I'm sitting here wondering how on earth I wasn't able to make a nearly perfect relationship work with a fully perfect person. How do you feel about your newfound singleness? Alexis asks me while she blows away the steam floating above her bowl of scalding hot oatmeal. I'm convinced that she has no feeling in her mouth at all, because the contents of the bowl she's about to eat are surely boiling. Or whatever the equivalent of boiling is when talking about oatmeal and not water. Simmering? No, boiling. It has to be boiling. I'm watching it boil. I wonder if the high pain tolerance is a Brazilian thing or just an Alexis thing. You feel good or no? I feel good about my newfound singleness? Yes. The singleness I newly found somewhere over the Pacific Ocean and inside invisible Wi-Fi signals in between two computer screens that know each other very well, and during 3 different video calls, all lasting somewhere around 30 minutes and 3 hours. Video calls that always ended with deconstructing where our relationship went wrong and why neither of us was to blame for our lowercase love that I'd hoped would turn into the uppercase kind of LOVE, all caps. If we just gave it one more time, and also more of every other flavor of more, 2 people might try to feed their love. Isn't it weird that I was just talking about my phone, like phones, and this like intermediary thing, and like that's the same with computers and Zooming and stuff too, right? Because that's what people do when they hope their love will grow into LOVE caps. We asked for and tried to give each other many different kinds of more, but by the end there wasn't any more to be found. Instead, I found singleness in more's place. I watch as Alexis dollops peanut butter and Nutella into her boiling oats. She makes the same breakfast every single day, and every day I think, I should really try that. It looks delicious. But this morning, I'm not thinking about how delicious peanut butter and Nutella taste. Do you know I've never had Nutella? Patrick has Nutella with peanut butter on his sandwiches. Oh, wait, it's not Nutella. It's Nutter butter or Nuffer Fluffer, something like that. I don't know because I've never had it. Fluffer Nutter. Yeah, anyway, I've never had any of the like Nutella, Fluffer, Nutter, Butters, whatever. I've only had P&J, PB and J. And it sounds disgusting. I don't want to have it on bread, and I don't want it in boiling oats. I do not want it on my head. I do not want it on the bed with hospital corners. I do not ever want it. It does not look delicious to me. But this morning I'm not thinking about how delicious peanut butter and Nutella taste when they're mixed into oatmeal. That was once boiling, but has had time to cool off and is still boiling. I'm distracted by the way Alexis just described the death of my relationship with my long-distance boyfriend, who was perfect in every way, except that he just wasn't perfect for me. Newfound singleness. It sounds so magical when worded that way, doesn't it? Not all sad or disappointing. Definitely not like a gigantic bummer. Newfound singleness doesn't even sound like a breakup. It sounds like a surprise gift card that you find at the pocket of your old jeans that's worth an obscure amount of money and can't actually buy you anything without also having to spend your own money too, but at least it's something. Isn't that funny? How many times do you actually have a gift card that does cover the entirety of what you're wanting? It does feel like you have this like weird half-assed amount of something that kind of gives you a deal that's almost not worth having to look for. Oh my gosh, totally. Which ironically enough is how I bought this book, on a gift card that I think I had like $7.80 left on, so we had to pay the remainder of it. That's so funny. Oh gosh. Or when you read your work schedule wrong and walk into the back office to clock in and your boss asks you what you're doing there and you say, I'm working, and they say, no, you're not. And then you say, no, you're so right, I'm not, because you did in fact read the schedule wrong, and as a result you have an entire day to spend however you choose. But you're in your work uniform and all your friends are working, so you kind of rather just be working, but it's still a day off, so you get ice cream and try to make the most of this accidental free time. Who's done that? It's better that than to totally forget you were supposed to work. That's not a good one. It's the addition of something unexpected. It doesn't sound like a loss at all. There are so many things newfound singleness sounds like, and none of them sounds the way being newly single feels. Sad. Mostly sad, with a few self-indulgent thoughts of all these feelings being equal parts temporary and never-ending and absolutely necessary, and sometimes seasoned with a little bit of, maybe I'll die alone because I've reached the elderly age of 22 and my best years are behind me, which means I'm definitely never going to fall in love ever again. I watch Alexis spoon large bites of peanut butter and chocolate oatmeal into her steel mouth, and I'm aware that I need to get out of the house. I'm getting out of the house. I haven't spoken much since I woke up this morning, so my voice sounds dry and scratchy and a little bit pathetic. Good, Alexis says, spooning away at her oatmeal. Good. I grab my backpack off my bedroom floor and leave. Alexis calls out behind me after the door is already closed. You're still wearing your pajamas. I don't bother going back into the apartment. I yell back, they're not pajamas, they're house clothes, because I know she'll be able to hear me through the front door, which has slowly been falling apart, which is so funny that I literally am wearing my house clothes, my pajamas, while I'm doing this with you. I can't believe it hasn't fully disintegrated into a fine dust or fallen off the hinges, given how many times a day it gets slammed shut by the 6 of us who live behind it. While I'm waiting for the elevator to pick me up from the 15th floor and take me down to the lobby, Alexis peeks her head out into the hallway. If they're house clothes, then why are you wearing them outside? Why are you whispering? I whisper back, unintentionally matching. Oh, maybe she was whispering. Let me do that again. If they're house clothes, then why are you wearing them outside? Why are you whispering? I whisper back, unintentionally matching the volume of her voice. Oh, okay, so it was her screaming it then. Why are you shouting? She shouts back. Oh God, I can't do this right. Just fill in the blanks yourself. I'm starting to feel the weight of what it means to live with 5 other roommates who all come from different parts of the world. Our apartment represents 6 countries and 4 different continents: Brazil, Indonesia, Canada, New Zealand, United States, Philippines. Surprisingly, no one from Australia. I guess because it was in Australia. Anyway, surprisingly, no one from Australia. Most of the fights that happen in our apartment are a result of some deep cultural offense that we aren't aware we've committed until the argument's already started and more than one person is crying out of sympathy. It's like you're playing dodgeball blindfolded, but no one told you that you were playing dodgeball or why you're blindfolded, and also you've never heard of dodgeball in your life. House clothes are basically like normal clothes. They're just a little more comfy. That's what you'd wear while watching, a movie. I just call them house clothes, but you can leave the house in them. Those are pajamas. Wait, this isn't a cultural thing. This is just a preference thing. A familiar bell rings as I hear the elevator door open behind me. I am still staring at Alexis, watching her try to make sense of the fact that I would willingly leave our apartment in any type of clothing she considers pajamas. I watch her eyes run over my body, starting at my frizzy hair and ending at my sandals, which are falling apart. Technically, they fell apart about a year ago, but duct tape has been keeping them together until I can buy a new pair when I move back to the States in a few months. Belitza Chow. I don't know. Belezatchau. Belizia Chow. I don't know if I got that right. Alexis's head slithers out from the space between the door and its frame as she returns inside to her oatmeal. The door slams shut. I love Alexis. I also feel like Alexis could kill me with her eyeballs if she stared at me long enough. What's with the pajamas? Aiden is standing in the doorway of the foyer and extends underneath our classrooms. The large glass doors are propped open, and the sound of students talking over one another bounces and echoes through the tiled interior of the building and floods out the front door. There can't be more than 30 students standing in the foyer behind Aiden, but the wall of noise makes those 30 voices sound like 300. They aren't pajamas, they're house clothes. This is kind of a weird day to wear house clothes, isn't it? What are you talking about? Oh shit, Aiden. I forgot today was today. Aiden and I are in charge of leading tonight's rehearsal for the end of semester songwriter showcase that's taking place at the main college campus, which is an hour away by bus if we leave at exactly the right time and hit zero traffic. When I look down to assess how urgent my clothing situation is, I realize I might have no other choice than to be late again. Of course I'm wearing pajamas today. Of course. I thought you said they weren't pajamas. I'm pulling at my hair. I'm pulling at my hair out of nervous habit. I do that too. I picture holding a microphone in my hand and directing well-respected. Hold on. I actually have one, so I'm going to use it. I picture holding a microphone in my hand and directing well-respected songwriters, singers, and musicians from the front of a large room while wearing ancient semi-transparent soccer shorts with disintegrated elastic at the waist that need to be held up by a hair tie to protect me from getting pantsed by gravity in public. Technically, I can find a way to make these shorts work. I have in the past, but the Looney Tunes graphic t-shirt that's 3 sizes too big and is so wrinkled it looks like a piece of paper that was dug out of the trash really shoves me over the cliff of indecision. I have to run back to my apartment to get a change of clothes. Someone makes a loud announcement that the buses will be leaving in 10 minutes. I can make it back to my apartment in 4 if I sprint as fast as I can and I don't get caught waiting at the one stoplight we have between campus and my apartment building. Aiden is watching my face as I do the mental math, calculating whether I can actually make it back in time to be on the bus when it leaves with all 30 songwriting students plus Aiden. With as much softness as he can inject into his consistent and brutal honesty, Aiden says, "You look like garbage. It's worth running back." Great, thanks. I'll be right back. And it trails off in the writing here. I drop my backpack at Aiden's feet and begin sprinting as fast as I can. I'm not sure what it is about these band rehearsals, but I'm never late to do anything, and I have been late to every single one of them. I run past the empty building that used to be a cafe where I worked as a barista the first summer I lived in Sydney. I stopped working there because the cafe owners were arrested for taking on fake identities to get out of paying taxes from the last cafe that they opened. I met them as Rachel and Thalid, and when Thalid introduced himself to me, I said, like salad, but with a lisp, and he didn't laugh. And I felt bad for a while, but now that I know Thalid wasn't even his real name, I don't feel so bad about it anymore. In fact, I'm a little upset that he didn't laugh because it was a quality joke, maybe inappropriate because he was my boss, but definitely funny. I never received a single paycheck the entire summer I worked at that cafe, which makes me significantly more upset than Thalid not laughing at my joke, but not so significantly that I won't bring up both memories in tandem, even Though I never got paid, I did learn how to make a beautiful latte, and in Australia, that's basically better than a paycheck. It definitely isn't, but I tell myself that it is so that I don't spiral. I run past a person holding a glass bottle of organic almond milk. The duct tape on one of my sandals breaks, so I take off both my sandals and keep running. I sprint past another cafe, which I'd stopped working at about 6 months earlier. The owners of this cafe were fully real and their identities not fake at all, which is great. Unless you take into account the whole getting locked in a supply closet because one of the managers didn't appreciate my turning down his many sexual advances, so that he finally said enough is enough, and his solution was to lock the handle of the supply closet door from the outside while I was getting more napkins and coffee cup sleeves, and told me to think about what I want out of life in the hope my answer would be you? Overwhelmingly? But he didn't consider that the closet door had a safety doorknob that could be unlocked if you put your fingernail into the little groove in the back in the event that this exact emergency should ever take place thing. If you don't take that into account, then it was a pretty great job. He was fired and I quit. I have a weird thing about supply closets now. Well, I guess so. And you don't seem to have a lot of great things happening in closets in general, I'm finding. There's a lot of closet stuff with you. More closet stuff than most. I hate them. I sprint past another cafe, one where I'm a regular at now, because the cafe I just broke up with is fine, but I got tired of how warm it gets because they like to open the windows instead of turn on the air conditioner, and so now every time I go inside I feel bad that I haven't been in there in a while, and it's kind of like seeing an ex-boyfriend. Oh, I forgot. For a brief moment, I forgot. I'm running, and I feel bile rising in the base of my throat, and I'm running, and I'm barefoot, and I forgot all about my newfound singleness. I can see the top of my apartment building poking above the trees, and I'm still running, straight through the dog park, past the weird fountain that isn't a fountain, past the public pool and shared gym that belongs to all the residents of the apartment complex clump I live in, past the dumpsters in the parking lot that gave me my perfectly good nightstand. I forgot. I can't tell if I'm feeling misplaced adrenaline because I'm running as fast as I can and I'm not a runner, so my body thinks I'm gearing up to fight a bear, or if I'm just feeling myself slowly being pulled under by the rip current of remembering. It's both. It's definitely both. But I'm single and I'm still running, and I can see the front doors to the lobby of my apartment building, and I'm still running, and I'm as close to my apartment building as I am to throwing up, and I'm still running. It took me 3 minutes to run here. I've never run this fast in my life. I think I'd like to keep running, but I don't have time. The elevator takes me up to the 15th floor, and I run through the front door of my apartment, not acknowledging Alexis sitting on the couch in the living room in jeans. The door slams behind me. Jeans on the couch in your free time feel egregious, but these are the exact feelings that earned me a 3-minute sprint, 6-minute round trip to my apartment. If I was more like Alexis and wore jeans while lounging on the couch, I wouldn't be in this position right now. I grab the first clean shirt I see and the only pair of jeans I own and leave as quickly and as loudly as I came in. The door slams behind me. I make it to the bus on time and don't even throw up. Actually, it says I don't even throw up. After a long and sweaty bus ride, I make it to... Well, first, can I just stop? I love that in her other story of just literally running back to the apartment, how we get to have so many other parts of her life painted by what she's running by. There was just enough little tidbits of it that we didn't have to go on too big of a tangent to forget what we were, but it was the perfect amount that allowed us to get a greater taste for some of the interesting things in her life. And I like that. I don't know if that's a writing technique or a name for it because I'm not a writer. Maybe I am a writer. That's the thing. My brother is a writer. My mom's a writer. Everyone, Patrick, my guy's a writer. He writes every day. And so I'm like, well, they're writers. I'm surely not a writer, even though I was the best writer in the state in first grade. And I went to the state writers convention and represented the first grade. No one better. But since then, all downhill. Maybe I need to bring writing back, regardless of me knowing whether there's a name for it. Okay, here we go. Back. After a very long and sweaty bus ride, I make it to rehearsal on time. Aiden seems pleased with the clothes I shoved into a plastic trash bag and changed into once we got off the bus. I still haven't cooled down since I stopped running. At this rate, I don't think I will. I can already feel the sweat from my back soaking my fresh t-shirt. Once I start sweating, I can't stop. But my jeans don't require a hair tie to hold them up, and I'm not worried about gravity's effect on my pants, and my shirt doesn't have cartoon characters on it. Altogether, my decision to change clothes has not been a net positive, or has been a net positive. Why are you walking like that? Aiden's face tells me the question isn't coming from a place of concern. Aiden's a runner. He runs in his free time for fun. He tells me often that I might even enjoy the mental and emotional benefits of a runner's high. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of proving him right, because I know he's right. My legs are sore. Don't worry about it. You ran for like 6 minutes. They were 6 very explosive minutes. All right. If we weren't crunched for time, I know this response would have been doused in sarcasm and just funny enough to not hurt my feelings. I began arranging chairs and music stands and microphone packs, making sure everyone has what they need before we begin rehearsing for the end of semester songwriter showcase. As I'm on the floor digging through my backpack for my notebook, I hear a familiar voice cut through the very long auditorium. It's at least an octave lower than any other voice in the room. Why the hell don't you have any dividers? I whisper into my backpack. Wait, I thought it was going to be the booming voice, so let me change it to hers. Why the hell don't you have any dividers? I whisper into my backpack. You're a gigantic bucket with a couple of straps, and you eat all my things and never give them back. Where is my notebook? Give me back my notebook. The volume of my voice has graduated from a whisper to the standard volume at which outside conversations are had. If one human being was speaking to another human being, this would be the exact right way to describe the volume of my voice. But considering I am still speaking to my backpack, it feels pretty loud. Long time no see. The deep voice is much closer now, almost as if it's speaking directly to, oh my God. I'm crouched down on the floor, shoulder deep in my dividerless black hole of a black backpack, and Jonas from the meat counter is standing above me. You're here? Why are you here? The last time I saw Jonas, I'd been holding roast beef and cashews and running, figuratively late, but just barely, to rehearsal for last semester's songwriter showcase. What is it about these rehearsals? I don't mean not that I don't want you to be here. I just I'm not really here. I work small odds and ends jobs on campus after hours and on the weekends. I was walking through the foyer and saw things getting set up here. I peeked in to see what was happening and saw some people I knew. And then I saw you. So now I'm saying hi. I say nothing. My legs are sore. My back is dripping with sweat. I have lost my notebook in the black hole that lives inside my backpack. I am drowning in all this newfound singleness. I can feel the start of a foot cramp brewing in the arch of my left foot because I refuse to buy new sandals and wear clothes that look like clothes you leave your house in. My mouth tastes like pennies. And now I'm talking to Jonas from the meat counter with a nice voice and even nicer beard that I don't remember him having 5 months ago when I saw him last. I don't remember much about that encounter other than being hungry and also confused about his hot takes regarding what makes pasta salad special, and that he was wearing house clothes to the grocery store just like I do. I wonder if he calls them house clothes too. This is just a quick hello and goodbye. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you out of the zone. I'm trying to think of something clever to say. All that ends up leaving my mouth is, look at this beard. I watch my hand reach out and touch Jonas's face. I'm almost positive I didn't tell my hand to do this. Surely I'm watching someone else's hand do this because my hand belongs down at my side or in my backpack or shoved in the front pocket of my jeans, a pocket that is way too small to fit a human hand, but definitely not touching someone's face. As if my thumb has a mind of its own, it begins stroking Jonas's cheek. I watch my thumb move back and forth, back and forth. I rip my hand away. I'm mortified. It is a beard, yes. Or it is a beard, yes, Jonas says, words dripping with surprise. He looks at me like he wants to continue speaking, but is too stunned by the sudden and unexpected physical contact to say anything else. What the hell was that, Elyse? I think she's talking to herself. Let's see. What the hell was that, Elyse? Single for what, 24 hours and already touching people's faces? Aiden is standing next to me, and I have no idea how long he's been standing there. My legs suddenly feel just fine, and I'd like to run away now. Jonas looks at Aiden. Then Jonas looks at me. Then Jonas looks at me. Wait, then Jonas looks at me. Then Jonas looks at me. I didn't know I liked beards. Now I know. Without a shadow of a doubt, I like beards. At least I like beard. One beard. One beard on one very specific person. I would like to touch it again. Unfortunately, I believe this interaction is limited to a maximum of one accidental and or on purpose without thinking it through beard touch per lifetime. Now that I'm fresh out of beard touches, I'm going to have to settle for a violently apologetic head nod and multiple I'm sorries in a row. Those are the official rules, I think. I'm not even making them up. I'm pretty sure they're published in a book somewhere, I promise. I am so sorry. I don't even know why I just did that. I'm sorry. And then she has a little rules. The rules on face touching as it relates to surprise facial hair, articles 1 through 5. You don't need to be sorry, Jonas responds so quickly that I almost don't register at all. I enjoyed it. I don't want you to be sorry. Jonas takes my hand and brings it back to his face. Oh, this is so romantic. Why do I love this? Here, he gently holds his hand over mine as my hand holds hands with his beard. This act feels painfully intimate. Yes, this is the hottest thing ever. People read trashy romance. Now, I don't read. I know a lot of people are in romantasy and whatever. Cool. Maybe I think it would be too much for me because to me, this is the hottest thing I've ever read. If a guy grabbed my hand to touch my beard, oh my God, I don't think I could handle romantasy further than this because I'm already kissing my phone and rulers and stuff. Like, I just love things too much. I can't get into actual schmack stuff. Okay. More water. I love the water. This act feels painfully intimate. I'm more aware now of the people standing around us and the rehearsal that is officially starting late, and my legs that feel sore again, and the foot cramp that is no longer brewing but is still all the way there, and I'm still touching Jonas's beard for a second time. I pull my hand away from his face again, as if the feel of his beard under my palm is offensive to me. I begin planning my very casual and very inconspicuous escape from this conversation so that I can hear my own thoughts again and decide whether I need to cry about this later and also right now. Well, this has been great, and I like your shirt. Goodbye. I pivot on my uncramped foot and feel the carpet beneath me try its best to trip me and force me onto the ground. In an effort to avoid falling, I take one large step and my leg catches my weight before my face kisses the floor. At this point, I have nothing to lose because my dignity disappeared the moment I put my Looney Tunes shirt on this morning. I take another equally large step forward to disguise the fact that I almost just ate the floor, and before I know it, I am running. I don't think I meant to start running, but I am running. There's no doubt I'm running away. If this is going to keep happening, maybe I should start running on purpose. I'd like to be prepared next time. Oh, what a great chapter part this was. I feel like there was something else I was going to say about it before I go. What was it? I don't remember. listeners. So if I remember on the next one, I will tell you. But right now, yeah, it was just very, oh, I know what it was. I remember. How is it that day one of official newly singledom, this happens? That day? It's not even like 2 days later? The same day? Or whatever? Or maybe it was the next day? What? Within 24 hours? That's when Jonas comes? I love how the universe works. That's all I have to say. All right. Next one we're going to do is the rules on facing touching as it relates to surprise facial hair. Stay tuned.